weirdly enough, it feels actually more, it feels stranger to record myself walking around here. I do it all over the world, but maybe it's because this is a former Soviet place, or maybe it's because America bombed the hell out of it, but it just feels awkward to be walking around speaking English and like recording yourself. It's like, this is not a place for that kind of person. But I did want to show church. Let's see. Because this is one of the few ones that didn't get destroyed, so it's still here, which is pretty sweet. Pull back a bit. Further. There. That's a cool car, dude. I love Mitsubishis from the 80s. Sweet. We're gonna get across here. You can see the front of it. You know, maybe you want to see like the world too, so there's a little bit of that. So, I mean, this is Dresden. It's one of the most beautiful cities in Europe, and what's left here's the Martin Luther Chapel Cathedral and its glory, right? And you can see it's a rather nice park right here. So I figured I'd give a little update. I'm in Europe, and I'm going to be going to see Raphael for Europa in Austria. I'll be in Wien in like a couple weeks. In the meantime, I'm going to be looking at some of Southeast Germany, particularly in Dresden. There is a museum. This will be a weird story. This is actually why I want to tell this, but it seems so weird that it was like too weird to explain. Growing up, I've been obsessed with the Mayans. I used to write the Mayan calendar on my wrist every day. I get in trouble for it at school. And I used to think about, as a very young child, how cool it would be to be able to time travel, right? Like, who hasn't? But when I was a kid, I thought about it a lot. I used to think about sitting in some sort of a chair and kind of like moving forward and just watching time go, like moving it so fast I could just see it happening, and rewinding it as well if that was possible. Time Machine by H.G. Wells, very similar idea. But I used to think, wouldn't it be cool if I could go look at the Mayans, go back and see what they had? Because I remember very distinctly as a kid knowing this story that most of the Mayan script was destroyed by the Europeans when they got to the Americas, but there were a few books that made it to Europe. And there was one of them, a Mayan scroll called the Dresden Codex, right? Now, I've been to Europe, been to Germany, been to I think I've even been to the museum in Dresden it's supposed to be at. However, I'll say it like this, I guess I'm from the timeline where in Dresden, where the bombing happened, that scroll was destroyed, right? Although apparently we're no longer on that timeline. I've always wished that I could see the Dresden Codex. Now I can, because I live in a reality where it exists and hasn't been destroyed. However, you want to look at that is fine. Like, maybe somehow I just missed it last time, even though I'm obsessed with this and distinctly remember it being destroyed as the reason I couldn't see it before. But, you know, hey, maybe, maybe really we're just converging on realities, singularities, and maybe this is somehow like planted by X Church, by us in the future. That would be really cool, wouldn't it? So, yeah, I'm gonna go see the Dresden Codex. I'll let you know about that. But in the meantime, I thought you guys should see just a little bit of this place, right? I mean, it's a little short 5-minute video is probably all you need, but at some point share with you my apartment, I guess, and you can see my food, because German food's different, man. Like, I don't know if it's just Southeast Germans, the Soviet cold commie ways, but dude, flaxseed, this little tiny lump of bread called pumpernickel, left-handed juice, whatever that means, Lincoln, I don't know. Really good stuff here. I feel alive and healthy, and it's way warmer here than Minnesota, which I think surprises them Soviet krauts. They're kind of confused. They're like, how's he doing with this? Well, also, cobblestone streets. All right, well, you know, before I freak someone out, around speaking English is, I wouldn't do it. Oh, I know what I can show you something. Okay, this is the last thing I'm gonna show you. All right. Get ready for it. Between 1751 and 1869. Yeah, how many of you were expecting to see the Dresden Cemetery? The Alter Jüdischer. Boom. Oh yeah, I wanted to add something, which was that if you're looking at all the renovation and they're building Dresden again, and you're thinking that, you're not wrong. They're rebuilding Dresden right now. That's a surprise. Anyway, the point was, look into a thing called Infineon. So, as you're familiar with the changes in the world, Europe is going through changes as well. One of the, oh, I love that song. Love will tear us apart again. Anyway, so Dresden is the epicenter of the European semiconductor fabrication and manufacturing, and this is where they have basically some of the biggest investments into building semiconductors. So Infineon is a huge campus. Beyond a compound is a campus with compounds, and they're building all of the. I mean, this is as much. I think the way to put it is, it's as big of a deal as the bombing of Dresden itself, that they're rebuilding their semiconductors here. It ties Dresden to the Singularity in a very real way. So, anyway, look into Infineon.